Bismillah. In this first question we have here 1.83 times by 47. This is a variation of a long multiplication question with a decimal point in it. What I'm going to do first of all is count the number of decimal places in my question. Will become apparent in a bit. Here 1, 2 decimal places in this whole question. Okay, so we say 2 decimal places in the question, which will mean we'll have 2 decimal places in my answer. So let's get started. So what we're going to do here is the long multiplication techniques. So we have multiply 1.83 by the first digit on the first line, which is 7, and by the second digit on the second line we're going to add a 0. We add a 0 because we're not actually multiplying by 4, we're multiplying by 4t. That's what the 0 there has the effect of. Let's get started. So 3 times by 7 is 21. 8 times by 7, that will give you 56, plus 2 is 58. 1 times by 7 is 7. 7 plus the 5. 12. Okay, that's my first digit on the first line. Now what I'm going to do is the second digit on the second line. So all of this times by the 4 now. So 3 times by 4 will give you 12. 8 times by 4 is 32 and 1 is 33. 1 times by 4 is 4. 4 and 3 will give us 7. Don't need this anymore. Right, so the final bit we're going to add them up. 1 add nothing is 1. 8 add 2 is 10. 2 add 3 is 5 and 1 is 6. 1 add 7 is 8. Now, as we made our statement at the beginning of the question, we said that we had 2 decimal places altogether in the question. So we will have 2 decimal places in the answer. Okay, it might look as though I have lined up the decimal points. I haven't. That's according to the method. The method I put them in here. For example, if this question had an extra decimal point here, then we would have a total of 3 decimal places in the question, and the decimal point wouldn't have been here, would have been here. Instead, 1, 2, 3, in that kind of question. So that means the decimal point will go from here to there to there. So I'm not trying to do any type of alignment, I'm trying to follow this simple rule. Okay, thank you very much. This is question number 2. Okay, we're just about getting this into the video. Hopefully this is a nice size for me to actually work on. I'll just read it out to you. Read it from here. The graph shows the distance from the city centre and the monthly rent of each apartment. So we have the monthly rent along here, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. On the bottom we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 kilometers. This is on the bottom one is the distance from the city centre. You just about got it into the scale. I'll try right here. Okay. Right up here. Distance from city centre in kilometers. Okay, right, hopefully that's all on there. So we have the table shows the distance from the city centre. We have two values to plot. So we have distance from the city centre, there's 2, and the monthly is 250 to plot onto our scatter graph, and 1 for 3.1, 1 for 190. I can't move the table up, otherwise I'll lose the graph. So I'll have to just give those to you verbally. Let's go on. 2 and 250. So the distance is 2 kilometers, which is 2 along the bottom, and the monthly rent is 250. So we come along here, come to 250, which is halfway, and put across here. So that's my first point. which is 250. The next point they give us in the examination paper, okay, is 3.1 kilometers and 190 rent. 3.1 is run by here, and 190 is the rent, which is each square going up is worth £10. So 190 is coming along here, and he meets it. Yeah. Okay. What I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to go over the existing points in the black marker, so they stand out a bit more from the projected image. Okay. Right. So these black points were the points already on there. These 2 points are the points I've just put on there according to the question. Okay. Right. So it's going to be 2 kilometers and £250, 3 kilometers and £190 for these 2 points. Now the question says here, after we plot those 2 points, describe the relationship between the distance from the city and the monthly rent. Alright, so let's write down. Now first of all, what would help us before we do that question, we should do a line of best fit. Now, ideally we need a long see-through ruler. I'm going to, if I use my ruler, I'm not going to get the best line. So I'm going to buy okay, you need to use your clear ruler to work this one out. Now I'm going to use my ruler over here. So that I'm again looking at an average line between the data. Okay, let's have a look at this line here. Okay. So that's my line. Alright. Okay, this is the line that I've got at the moment. Okay, when you use your clear see-through ruler, you need to put it on there so you position it so you try to go through as many points as possible, and as many above and as many as below as you can. So it's like an average line going through the data. Right. Do mind the best of the circumstances I have here with me. Right, now, that's a line of best fit. As we can see, as the distance from the city centre increases, the rent decreases. That is the relationship that we have here. So we need to make that statement. So that's question part B. So question part B, okay, is as the distance from the city centre, so we say as the distance from the city centre increases, as the distance increases, the monthly rent decreases. Okay, now the mark scheme allows you on this particular question to also write a very short answer, which is negative correlation. So in the examination, that's the answer they're looking for, but this one is also acceptable. Okay, so that's part B done. So what we've done first of all, we plotted the 2 points they gave us, done the line of best fit by trying to get an average line going through as many data points as possible and having as many above as below points. So it's like an average line, and using that line we can see that the data is going in a negative correlation, which I've explained in detail here. So as the distance increases, the monthly rent, as the distance from the city centre increases, the rent decreases. That's the key word there. Okay, done. There. Here comes the last part of this particular question, question number 2. It says an apartment is 2.8 kilometers from the city centre. Okay. Find an estimate for the monthly rent for this apartment. So 2.8 kilometers. So 2 and 0.8 is here, folks. So what we need to do now, we need to get a line from 2.8 kilometers on the bottom. We need to hit our line of best fit. We need to go across. Okay, we need to get our value. Okay, now this line here is coming from 2.8 kilometers from the bottom. We've gone up, we've hit our line of best fit, we've gone across, and we get our answer here. So that's 200, 210, 220, 230, 240. So the answer, that was part B. Answer to part C is £240. Okay, now for those of you who follow this at home, an answer range of 200 to 260 is allowed for that question according to the mark scheme. It is important to realise this. Not everybody's line of best fit will be on the same, exactly the same point. Not everybody will get the same values I've got here, but you should get a value in between this range for the examiner to give you the full mark. Mine's nice and easily within that range, so that's worth full mark. Okay.